So Josh Scott has done it again. That's crazy. So hello everybody and welcome to a new video and welcome to my channel where we talk about everything music from death metal to Queen and everything in between. So Josh Scott has done it again. I mean, somebody on YouTube said that he's got the Midas touch and I believe it. Everything he touches turns to gold. So in case you had no idea, Josh Scott is the founder of JHS, a guitar pedal company that makes great pedals. It started out as a boutique pedal company, but now it kind of expanded to a more mainstream guitar pedal company. Now he also has this awesome YouTube channel, which if you're not subscribed to yet, I highly recommend that you do, where he makes great content regarding guitar pedals in general. Now one of my favorite things about the channel is the fact that he has his own guitar pedal company, but he expresses love for other brands too, and he'll praise any pedal regardless of whatever brand it is, as long as it's good, and he'll also talk crap about any pedal regardless of how much money it is. One of my favorite video formats on his channel is the shootouts he does between different pedals and stuff like that. So he'll actually compare a very cheap pedal with a very expensive pedal and some other pedals in between to see whether or not it makes that much of a difference in your overall tone. And he could very well get very technical about it. I mean, he makes pedals for a living, so he could talk about capacitors and soldering points and stuff like that, but he doesn't. What he does is super simple. He just shoots them out and shows you what they sound like. On different videos he does get very technical, and I mean, he's an avid pedal collector and he really genuinely loves guitar pedals, whatever the brand. He collects them all. And I respect that. I respect that very much. Anyway, so lately he actually got criticized because of the fact that anytime he showcases a particular pedal, it skyrockets in price. So a lot of people are pissed off about the fact that, you know, some pedal now is twice as much, 3 times as much, and so on. But I actually appreciate that fact, and I'm here to defend him because he should definitely read between the lines instead. Check this out. A couple of months ago, he actually made a video where he compared different Clone Centaur clones or copies, all of them in very different price points, and he compared them to the real thing to deny or justify the fact that that pedal now sells for about $5,000, which is ridiculous if you ask me. So he actually pulled out guitar pedals that were like $40, $50, $100, $200, $500, and so on, and he shot them out one by one, and he actually convinced me to buy this bad boy right here, which at the time I bought it, it was like $40, and you know, it sounded great. I would have never bought this thing otherwise. I mean, you can't even find it on guitar stores. You have to get it through Amazon. It's Chinese made. It's very cheaply built. I had never even heard of the brand before, but then I saw it on his video and it sounded great. So I figured, you know what, 40 bucks, I'll bite the bullet. I'll buy it and I'll check it out for myself and see whether or not I like it. And now it just lives on my pedal board right before the TS9. So yeah, great addition to my arsenal. And now he's done the same thing with this guy right here. So let's talk about the matter at hand. The Digitech Bad Monkey pedal. Having been a guitar salesman, then a guitar department manager, then a senior guitar department manager at Sam Ash for about 8 years, and then managing different guitar stores, I am very familiar with that guy. In fact, I remember sitting down and spending a solid amount of time with that pedal right after Gary Moore passed away in 2011, because I remember vividly talking to Dave, who was the store manager back then, and telling him how sad I felt about the fact that, you know, Gary Moore was no longer with us. So we started talking about him and his tone and his playing and stuff like that. And he said to me, you know what the secret to his tone is? And I was like, no, the Digitech Bad Monkey pedal. I was like, really? I was like, yeah, dude, that's all he uses. $59. So of course I plugged it in, I started playing, and of course being a metal guy, it wasn't really my cup of tea. And of course I already had a TS9, which this is sort of the same thing. So I decided to just keep the Ibanez and, you know, pass on this guy. Now of course over the years I sold a lot of Bad Monkey pedals, and over the years I got a lot of them returned. So here's the deal, if you actually watch the JHS video, Josh will actually have you believe that this pedal is as good as all of the pedals he shot this pedal out against. And that's really a half-truth. Let me explain it to you. What he actually does on the video is he actually plays this pedal and he plays a different pedal and he makes them sound the same. So I'm sure he sat there for a while just tweaking the knobs and making them sound the same, which he actually does. I mean, by listening to all the pedals and the A-B switching, there was only one pedal where I can actually tell you I heard a noticeable difference, and that's between the Bad Monkey and the Morning Glory. Other than that though, on every other pedal, it sounded exactly the same. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the Bad Monkey is just as good as the other pedals, or that the Bad Monkey does everything the other pedals do. And that's one of the points I am trying to make. Josh does a great job at making the Bad Monkey sound like a certain setting on a different pedal. But can the Bad Monkey do everything that the other pedal does? Probably not. and vice versa. I'm sure that a clone is not going to do everything that a bad monkey does, or a TS10 doesn't do everything that a bad monkey does, and a bad monkey doesn't do everything that a TS10 does. They're different pedals. But I gotta give it to Josh. He presents it in a way that it makes you feel and makes you think that a bad monkey is just as good as every other pedal that he pulls out of that bag. And that alone made the Bad Monkey pedal go from $59 used to about $200, maybe even $300 on Reverb right now. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that they're selling for that much money, but somebody's gonna buy this pedal for a lot of money. And that's what pissing some people off. And Josh Scott, as smart as he is, actually went on Instagram and said this to everybody complaining. To the people complaining that I raised the price on this pedal and now you can't buy one, I would like to remind you that you had 19 years, but you never cared. I remember back in my Sam Ash days, and even after that working at different stores, we couldn't give them away. Nobody cared about this pedal. Hell, I sold the Digitech death metal pedal more than I sold this guy. He also goes on to say, learn to listen with your ears instead of the trends. And again, he's spot on. A great example is a 5150 PV amp. I remember when I bought mine, back then I bought a 5150 block letters 100 watt head for $500, and it was in near mint condition. And even though I did get a deal on it, they were selling for about $600, $650 tops. But then, right after Eddie Van Halen died, the 5150's head price just skyrocketed. And to this day, they're still upwards of $1,500, which is ridiculous. So yeah, I sold mine for like $800, and now I kind of regret it because now I can't buy another one, and I'm not paying $1,500 for one. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Now anyway, about reading between the lines, and the point I actually want to make on this video is that what I think Josh is actually trying to tell us and show us is, wait for it, look at all the awesome tones I can get out of this $59 pedal. You don't need to spend $3,000 on a pedal to sound great. Legendary. I mean, every tone he gets out of the Bad Monkey on that video sounds great. And that can also be said for a lot of other pedals out there. I think the actual point here is just sit there and experiment and try out a pedal and give it time and just listen to it with your ears. I am sure you can find something useful out of any pedal if you sit there and you take the time to learn it and play around with it for a bit. Now, something though I found really interesting, and that's a topic for a different video, is the way the market reacts to a video. Check this out. He's actually shot out a $59 pedal against a $1,000 pedal, a $5,000 pedal, $500 pedals, and so on. And this pedal's price skyrocketed. It just went from $50 or $60 to like $100, $200, $300. But why doesn't that happen on this end of the spectrum? Why doesn't the $5,000 pedal actually get hit by the fact that, hey, this pedal, when dialed in correctly, sounds just as good as this pedal? This pedal is not worth $5,000. You know what I mean? Same with like a $1,000 pedal. If this $50 pedal can sound just as good as a $1,000 pedal, then is this pedal underappreciated or is this pedal overpriced? I've got an answer for you, but you tell me. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please drop me a like if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel like a man if you haven't yet. And if you want to help the channel out big time and help me grow, please go visit my Patreon. A little goes a long way. We surely do appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. Pat out, middle on, dudes.